The disappearance of Marshall Shelly Hansen from Price County in far northern Wisconsin is one of the state's oldest missing person cases. Hansen was last seen leaving her job at the local Marquip factory at 8 p.m. on November 12, 1987. At the time of her disappearance, Hansen was 23 years old and pregnant. Her vehicle was found the next day at Lake 10 Tavern, about 10 miles southwest of the county seat of Phillips. For almost 40 years, that's basically all of the information the Price County Sheriff's Office has shared with the public about the case. Now, a Wisconsin Watch investigation has uncovered previously sealed evidence that law enforcement officials had identified a lead suspect decades ago, Michael D. Raskie, Hansen's supervisor at Marquip. The information comes from a 2008 search warrant for Raskie's DNA that was sealed until 2017. Here's what we know about the last day Hansen was seen alive. On a chilly November Thursday in 1987, Hansen spent the morning at Flambeau Medical Center in Park Falls getting an ultrasound. Later that afternoon, she ran into Kathy Krensky, wife of future Sheriff Wally Krensky, at a laundromat near the IGA grocery store where Hansen worked a second job. Hansen showed Krensky the sonogram, but declined to reveal the father's name.
She was excited. She showed me the ultrasound of the baby. And I wonder if they ever found that in her purse, because she took it out of her purse to show me.
Hansen left the laundromat in a hurry, with her clothes still damp. She returned to her apartment at the Starlight Apartments just north of Phillips. Hansen worked an evening shift at Marquip. While there that day, she showed a fellow employee, Tina Anderson, the sonogram and told her the unnamed father was a Marquip foreman who was married with 2 children. That description matches Raskie. Another Marquip employee, Cindy Miller, told Wisconsin Watch she saw Hansen having an intense conversation with Raskie at the drinking fountain. An analog clock on the wall showed it was just before 6:30 p.m.
She looked up at me, and her eyes locked, looked right at each other, and just the expression on her face. It was very sad. Her eyes told me everything.
Police say Hansen was last seen leaving work at 8 p.m. But according to the long-sealed court documents obtained by Wisconsin Watch, another witness claims to have seen Hansen later that night. In 2003, 16 years after Hansen's disappearance, former Phillips police officer Leonard Schultz came forward to say he talked to Hansen at the Tasmanian Devil Bar around 10 or 11 p.m. Schultz told investigators that Hansen said she was going on a trip and asked him to check in on her apartment while she was away. While patrolling later that night between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., Schultz said he saw Raskie's pickup truck at the Starlight Apartments, but no sign of Hansen's vehicle. The next day, Friday, November 13th, Hansen's maroon Dodge Omni was found at Lake 10 Tavern, about 10 miles southwest of Phillips. The car was parked at an angle as if someone had left it there in a hurry. The tavern owners reported the vehicle missing on Saturday, November 14th, and police confirmed the license plate was Hansen's. On Tuesday, November 17th, an employee at the IGA grocery store reported Hansen was missing. For years after, investigators combed Price County for Hansen's body. They dug holes. They dredged Lake 10. They even suspected Michael Raskie was responsible, though they never announced that publicly. But when Schultz came forward in 2003, it was a breakthrough in the case. State and local investigators collected new evidence that pointed to Raskie. For example, they learned that at the time of Hansen's disappearance, Raskie's brother was renting a house half a mile away from Lake 10 Tavern. They also learned Raskie may have stored a dirt bike, electric tricycle, and motorcycle in the shed, giving him possible access to a getaway vehicle if he in fact planted Hansen's car at the Lake 10 Tavern.
We dug in a burial pit, a garbage pit behind the house, and we came up with nothing.
All the evidence was still enough to convince a judge to approve a search warrant for Raskie's DNA in 2008. However, Raskie was never charged or arrested in connection to the case. Raskie did face consequences for a different crime. He was convicted of third-degree sexual assault and aggravated battery for a brutal attack on his wife in February 1989. He was convicted and sentenced to 7 years in prison. He served 28 months and was paroled December 3rd, 1991. He died in 2015. What happened to Shelly Hansen's body remains a mystery. Anyone with information about the case should contact the Price County Sheriff's Office at 715-339-3011.